So I guess transitioning into the business side, which you mentioned, a big conversation, at least around January time earlier this year,
Mhm.
was the ratings.
Yes.
Everyone was saying the NBA is a bad business
Mhm.
because the ratings are low. Or a lot of people were saying that. I don't know about everyone, but that was definitely a topic. And when the other response was the counter was kind of like, no, it just people aren't on TV. It's all TikTok and there's casual fans. So what are your thoughts on the NBA as a business?
So the NBA ratings were bad then, but they have since rebounded. I think NBA overall ratings for the regular season on national television were down about 2%, which proportionally to how people are no longer subscribing to is good because the rate at which cable companies are losing subscribers is way more than the 2% dip. So the NBA in its next media rights deal, which is starting next season, is relying less on cable than it ever has. You'll be seeing more games on network television on NBC and ABC. Amazon will have a streaming package, which is not cable. And then Peacock will be having games every week. That is also streaming. So you're still going to have ESPN cable games, but even ESPN is launching a direct to consumer product that it announced last week. It is trying to get away from relying on cable subscribers too, and so is the NBA. And so what you'll see is ratings will no longer be reliant on the cable system, which has been known to be antiquated for a long time. And so you'll probably see ratings measured a little differently, but probably go up and be less of an issue. People love this ratings issue. It's because it stems from politics, which we will not get into, but that is how it is stemmed from. People see, oh, the NBA isn't rating well. Oh, it must mean that it's a dying sport or it's too woke or whatever. But that's not really
Mhm.
reflected in reality.
Right. And do you think this is the like this combining like kind of everything we spoke about, but just big picture, this new phenomenon. I remember my brother was the first person I ever heard did this, and now everyone's doing it. But it was when LeBron left Cleveland to Miami, he was a Cavs fan, and then he became a Heat fan.
Mhm.
And I was like, what do you mean? All the Cleveland fans hate LeBron. And he's like, nah, like LeBron's my guy. I follow him where he goes. And then he just became a Cleveland fan, a Heat fan. Then he went back to Cleveland, and now he's a Lakers fan. And that's just how my brother followed sports. And I think more and more people are doing that. Like I know Levy, you're a big Russell Westbrook guy. Even though you're still a Thunder fan technically, but you're a Russell Westbrook guy. Like this phenomena of like this play the players are our guys. Do you think that's good for the league, bad for the league from a business standpoint? I'm talking about.
I think the NBA will take its fans no matter how it can get it. And there will be more of people following fans rather than teams in the future. You see it a lot in soccer with Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. They follow the player rather than the team. Like when Messi left Paris Saint-Germain for Inter Miami, PSG lost millions of Instagram followers. Inter Miami gained millions of Instagram followers. LeBron James, when he left Cleveland for LA, same thing. So it's just how fans are consuming the league and how they're going to be gravitating more towards players and personalities. I'm sure you're going to see that with LeBron. You're going to see that with Wemby. You're probably going to be seeing it with Luca. You probably have already seen it with Luca. That's just how fans are these days, like your brother. And so the NBA are going to be like, no, we don't want you. They're going to be like, this is how fans consume the league and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, I would say just for clarification, that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant was the reason I started watching basketball in general. So I remain true to my initial feelings. I'm a very big Thunder fan. But that being said, I also happen to like, because I have the association with these players, I also happen to then look more at the content that is being created for, you know, the Nuggets right now with Russell Westbrook, or I guess earlier this season, and Kevin Durant on the Suns. Like, I just feel like it kind of more branches out rather than it limits the my approach and my interest. Um, yeah,
It's interesting that you don't like James Harden as much.
that's also not that's not like I wouldn't necessarily count that out either. It's just the what got me into it was the All-Star game in 2012, watching Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook out there just destroying it. Like, they were so much fun to watch. They were so, like, really, really standouts on the court to me. Um, James Harden, it's shocking going back more into the statistics side of it. Um, that I think that there was a report, I want to say a couple games ago, from SGA that he passed James Harden's assist totals while in OKC. And it made me think about the fact, like, in the playoffs, and it made me think about the fact that James Harden had a crazy amount of assists in the playoffs in his young career while coming off the bench. But yeah, no, I don't know.
What team do you like?
I have to remain neutral. I will follow more of the team that Kevin Durant is on because it's good for business, but I try to stay neutral.